Alrighty. So, we got a breakdown of the trailer. Let's see what details I might have missed. Make sure that you get over to Cosmic Wonder and subscribe. Tell them Tyrone Magnus sent you. Oh, by the way, before I do this, 2 complaints that I'm hearing that I feel just do not make any sense. There are people complaining that he's flying with his arms to his side instead of his arms in front of him. Christopher Reeve. All right, arguably the greatest Superman of all time did that. He did both. What's wrong with it? Okay? And the other thing is the CGI. Whenever I see a bunch of people saying the same thing, I think it's either a bot service, okay? It's a bot farm doing this, or some influencer of some sort, whether on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, wherever they may be, said something and everybody is parroting it, because that's how it is. Trust me, it happens all the time. But they're saying, well, we don't really know how a man flies, so of course it's going to look like that. Of course the CGI is going to look wonky or weird. We have no reference for how a man really looks flying. Christopher Reeve looked excellent flying. Okay? Don't give me that BS. Okay? We had a $75 million movie come out. I forgot what it was called, but Denzel Washington's son was in it. I keep forgetting what it was called. It was a good movie. And their CGI was excellent. Okay? Don't try that. These companies just aren't doing CGI the way they used to. They're either not giving them the time or they're not hiring the right people. That's it. Because we all know of James Cameron. And don't say, well, because James Cameron takes 8 years. No. Because with the first movie, it didn't take that damn long. If James Cameron was doing it, I guarantee you the CGI would be better. And that goes for any movie out there, okay? The majority of the time, if James Cameron is at the helm of a movie that's got CGI in it, it's not going to be wonky. No matter who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear none of that. All right, let's go.
Hey, quit messing around.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
We just got
so
much new information about Superman. An entire Entertainment Weekly article revealing a lot about the future of DC Studios, plus a new full Superman trailer that gave us a lot of new scenes with some killer footage, including Superman using...
It's kind of weird if they're robots. Then he can just make sure he can just rebuild them. Or have them rebuilt or something. He's holding his hand like... You know what I mean? He lost a friend. Like, I get it. You got to know the robot. He's your friend. I understand that. But it's kind of like, I don't know. Just in a scene like that, I think I would have him just pick him up. I'm going to get you fixed up, buddy. All right? Maybe. But we got to see the context of the film. Because to me, I'd just be like, oh, Lord. They didn't kill Robo X18. Hey, man. Hey, is you there? Oh, Robo. I'm going to get you fixed, man. I'm going to get you fixed. I don't expect them to be fully gone. That's what I mean. He's holding his hand like a friend is dying and going to be gone forever. So it makes me wonder, will they be rebuilt by the end of the film? Or in the next film, will they be there? Will they be back? You know what I mean?
His heat vision and crypto in action with Superman. Lots of confirmations and updates about future DC projects. Let's get into it. The Superman trailer opens up with the John Williams theme music, which sounds fantastic. A building...
And there better not be a bunch of people in that building. There better not be a bunch of people in that building that don't get saved. Okay? And that's for the people that was all jumping all over Man of Steel. Okay? One thing I hear people say, oh, it wasn't that it was so much devastation, is that he didn't save anybody. Yeah, he did. Watch that movie. He saves several people. Okay? He couldn't save everybody though. I know what you're saying, but he couldn't save everybody. Okay? So these better be all abandoned buildings that are toppling over. Okay? With what they did with Batman v Superman, we're at a port. It's abandoned. They're over there. It's abandoned. Where'd they land? Oh, it's abandoned. I took them over here. It's abandoned. Oh, it's abandoned. Like, they didn't even have to do that, but they did to appease people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, whatever. Better not be no people in there.
Is falling and Superman catches it to save civilians, and we hear Lex Luthor say that Superman is the most powerful being on Earth. Then he goes into a classic evil bad guy monologue saying that he's going to destroy him, he's going to destroy everybody close to him, his Earth parents, the reporters that he talks to. We start to see the real hate that Lex has for Superman in this trailer. Now when Lex says, "Who raised you as a child? I'll kill them too," we actually see that he is...
I would say that Lex Luthor in this is a big piece of trash.
In his prison cell here. And of course we know from other trailer scenes that he captures Superman at one point.
I hope he
we
doesn't
know
kill
how
his
he
parents.
captures Superman and depowers him. He does that via Metamorpho. And James Gunn...
You know, James Gunn killed all type of animal creature friends of Rocket Raccoon in the third, Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think anybody's at stake in this movie.
Gunn actually confirmed in the Entertainment Weekly article that came out yesterday that, yes, Metamorpho can create kryptonite. James Gunn told us, in Lex's pursuit to defeat Superman, he needs to pinpoint his vulnerabilities. One of them, as anyone can tell you, is kryptonite. But where does Lex get it? Well, there's this guy, Rex Mason, who can change his body mass into any natural element, including, you guessed it, kryptonite. He just needs a compelling enough reason to persuade Rex/Metamorpho to do this for him. Now, they don't say, but we have kind of heard some rumors and rumblings that Lex is going to take his son and basically say, do this or I will kill your son. And even James Gunn said that you're in a situation where it's having to hurt someone, having to be an agent of the bad guy, but it'll go, oh, he has no choice.
Yeah, I think someone said something about, I didn't notice it in the trailer, but he was holding a baby. And they were saying that is the baby Metamorpho, so maybe that's the reason why.
He has to be doing this, and you see how painful it is. So Metamorpho is good, but Lex probably does have his son or somebody he loves that he's threatening to harm. So Metamorpho does produce the kryptonite, which is how Lex is actually able to go toe-to-toe with Superman, or at least capture him temporarily. Now from here we have some pretty killer new scenes, a lot of new action scenes in this trailer. A great look at Superman flying when he's fighting the kaiju, and I gotta say I'm actually pretty impressed with how this looks. I think...
I said something yesterday in my trailer reaction where I was like, CGI nowadays, I'm starting to get used to it. And one little caveat, one little detail that I should have added to that was that I don't like the fact that I'm getting used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm becoming complacent. I just accept it when I know they could have did better. You get what I'm saying? And there's a lot of movies that you can nitpick. A lot of great movies that you can nitpick CGI on. Even Infinity War, but I wish they would give these teams the right amount of time to finish these special effects. And everybody that says, oh, special effects aren't done yet, it's just a trailer. You shouldn't put out, first of all, I don't believe that they do put out trailers with unfinished special effects. Okay, I don't believe that they do that as far as CGI goes. So, if they are doing that, it's completely idiotic because then there's people that won't go to see it because the CGI is bad. Get it? Because they think you finished it. Why would you put out something unfinished? And every single time, I've been doing this for 13 years, I've seen people say, oh, watch, the CGI's not finished yet, it's just a trailer. Every single time, when I go see the movie, it looks the same. It looks the same every time. So please stop saying that garbage.
Visually, this looks really, really good.
No, it looks
then
okay.
We take it to his fight with Ultraman. Ultraman is using his heat vision against Superman, and it looks really
Is that Ultraman?
effective. And if you freeze frame in this scene, you can actually see
that him
when
in a power
Ultraman
suit?
shoots his heat vision that he has his mask off. We're going to obviously see who he is. It looks like he has longer hair here, so he will be revealed. And James Gunn has even teased us yesterday in the Entertainment Weekly article about who Ultraman is. is. They state there's also a mysterious figure on Team Lex called Ultraman, whose entire body is covered by a black suit. James Gunn continues the air of mystery, but the character has comparable abilities to Superman, including laser vision, strength, and flight. When asked if Ultraman is Luthor's attempt to create his own Man of Steel, the filmmaker replies, "I think that's close. Ultraman is sort of Lex's thug and is pretty powerful."
I hope to God it's not Henry Cavill. I hope to God it's not Henry Cavill. I hope to God it's not him. I'd only be okay with it being him if this movie turns out to be a masterpiece. I get a feeling it's not. I told you yesterday, for right now, after seeing that trailer, I feel it could be mid to good. So I might come in, no Stone Cold. Yo, y'all, it was good. It was good, can't lie. The suit was eyesore the whole time, but actually everything else, it was good. Or I could come in and tell y'all, it was alright. Meh. Someone said the other day in the comments, meh still means kind of bad. That's true. But meh also still means kind of good. It was okay. Yeah, there were some cool parts. There were some bad parts too. It just left me like, You know what I mean? But it could also be horrible. Doesn't matter how many people want to see something. It still could be horrible. I mean, hell, the Ray trilogy made money, correct? All right, then that speaks for itself. The Ray trilogy made money. That doesn't mean everything that makes money is going to be great, right? All right, then.
Powerful. So basically what fans have been thinking is that the Ultraman in the movie isn't necessarily going to be like the Ultraman in the comics, but
Funny if they made him a bearded Henry Cavill with the long hair that we wanted for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Is a clone of Superman that Lex has created. And James Gunn kind of hints at this right here. He's obviously not going to come out and say, yeah, it's Lex's Man of Steel. It's a clone that they made of Superman. If this is the case, I still say that it would have been kind of cool to maybe have Henry Cavill play the clone of Superman. Just kind of a one and done thing, but kind of a little homage to him. That won't happen, of course, but we are going to see who Ultraman
How do you
is.
know, though?
As we can see in the scene, he does not have his mask.
Know?
Now, at some point, it looks like Metamorpho creates just a giant ridge in the ground, like the ground just starts opening up, but it does seem to be Metamorpho's doing. This most likely comes from them being in Lex Luthor's prison, which might be underground, which is why the ground could be opening up. Metamorpho could simply be splitting it so they
But
can...
that reminds me of in Superman Returns where he's flying. He's like, and he looks in the water, the X-ray visions the water, and he can see the cracks and everything. That's what that reminds me of.
Break out. Superman also looks very beaten up in this scene, like you can tell by his eyes he's very beaten up, so Kryptonite was most likely involved right before this scene happens, and we know Metamorpho in the prison cell with Superman does produce...
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. They're like, he's got the ultimate healing factor. Why does he have black eyes? Gave him some Irish sunglasses.
Use the kryptonite to weaken him. So he probably just took a beating from Lex, but talks to Superman.
Got the
Superman
Irish
probably
sunglasses.
tells him he'll do everything he can to save whoever Lex is holding that he loves. So Metamorpho helps get them out of there, and we can see Superman and Krypto fight Lex's soldiers. If you slow it down, you can actually see Krypto jump to the Lex soldier.
Someone
take
says
his
that
helmet off.
he should have blew his head off. But I assume if he didn't knock his head off, he's enhanced. Maybe he's got some type of super soldiers that are pretty tough, maybe not Ultraman's level or something like that. If it's just a normal human being, then this isn't going to make sense. And okay, maybe he's holding back. I know Superman always holds back. I know so.
Which allows Superman to punch him right in the face and knock some of his teeth out. So Krypto will be a lot more involved than just
with his Irish
jumping
sunglasses
Superman
on
and kind of breaking him a little bit, like we saw in that
when
one.
Irish
Also, in a recent
eyes
TV
are
spot that was
smiling.
released, we do see Superman in the Fortress of Solitude call for Krypto, and then the next scene is him and Krypto in action, where Mr. Terrific questions Superman bringing the dog.
Krypto! You brought that
So
dog
we're going to be
in!
getting lots of Krypto, it seems, in Superman, which is fantastic. Then we see a scene with...
Mr. Terrific sounds like Anthony Mackie or something. He reminds me of Falcon. From the way Falcon talks.
Him and Guy Gardner, and Guy says, make a move, Big Blue. And yesterday, James Gunn actually talked a lot about the Justice Gang and the universe in general that we're about to go into with Superman. They state, in this world, humanity has been clued into the existence of metahumans, i.e. superpowered individuals, for 300 years. It's a world that includes the Justice Gang, a super trio comprised of Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, and Mr. Terrific. But they went corporate. Maxwell Lord, played by James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, the head of Lord Tech and one of multiple tech billionaires in this world, is their backer. They're good, they just are not saintly, James Gunn says. It states, it's a world that often has a problem with someone like Superman. He's virtually all-powerful, so it's a challenge to physically stop him. His combination of his upbringing in rural town Smallville and the dying wish of his Kryptonian parents to safeguard humanity forms Clark's firm ideals about bettering civilization. No corporation or government can taint them. And they basically go on to state that this does cause conflict with the people that he knows. It causes conflict with Lois and with the Justice Gang. So this scene right here with Guy Gardner is probably him realizing that Superman is the one to stop everything because he is virtually almost invincible. That's why he's telling him, make a move, Big Blue. Then we have a scene that I just kind of realized is most likely Superman holding Metamorpho's son. And they look to be in some sort of pocket dimension, maybe somewhere in space. But this shot right here does seemingly confirm two different things. One is that we've heard there are going to be pocket dimensions in this movie, just like we saw in Peacemaker. And we see it again in the Peacemaker Season 2 trailer. They go into the closet, the armor room, and they end up in a
some longer pants, Lois.
Bigger space. It also kind of looks like the
need some longer pants, dear.
Peacemaker 2 as well. So I'm sure there's going to be some elements of that in this scene. And then again, like I mentioned, it does look like Superman has Metamorpho's child in this scene in his right hand. So Metamorpho stops producing the kryptonite to weaken Superman. We then see Lois Lane flying one of Mr. Terrific's ships. I'm curious to see how that plays out, what leads to that situation. But then, one of the final scenes of this trick...
Several people are concerned that this is a girl boss moment. Several people are concerned. I saw that in the comments, that this is going to be some type of stupid girl boss moment where like she saves Superman or something. I don't know what it is. I just know that this is one of the scenes that made me think, this looks a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Trailer is an absolutely epic scene of Superman using his heat vision. Superman looks very beat up. Mr. Terrific says, stop playing around. They're kind of making a joke in this scene. He says, I'm not playing around, I'm doing important stuff. And then we see him
they're making a joke
with his heat vision. I don't know about you, but this trailer made me so much more hyped for Superman. I was already pretty hyped, but the action that we've seen in this really pushed it even further. So let me know what you think about this trailer in the comments down below. Now, to talk about the future of DC, again, James Gunn gave us a lot of updates recently. Yesterday, they talked a lot about what's happening with DC. I'll give you the short version so you know what's happening. 1, James Gunn did confirm that Wonder Woman movie is in the works right now. They are writing it. This is a movie, and of course, they will be recasting Wonder Woman.
People keep telling me that Batman is going to show up in the next Superman movie. That's how they're going to do it. Eerily similar. Right? Eerily similar.
Will no longer be played by Gal Gadot. They have not cast her yet, James Gunn confirms, but the movie is happening. James Gunn did also state, along with David Zaslav, the head of Warner Brothers Discovery, that the most important character...
And I remember Kevin Smith, for those of you saying, well, Batman v Superman wasn't a Superman movie. Kevin Smith explained this, how it was Man of Steel 2. It was legitimately Man of Steel 2. They just didn't name it that. And he explained it, and I was like, oh, very interesting. You know, he knows about the industry, so I thought that was interesting. But yes, the fans want a legitimate Man of Steel, just him. And here's the thing: if you watch Batman v Superman theatrical, it's a Batman movie. If you watch the Ultimate version, it's a Superman movie. It's a difference. It's interesting.
Characters moving forward are Superman, Supergirl, Batman, and Wonder Woman, along with some other characters as well. He did say Peacemaker Season 2 was incredibly important for the overall story that they are telling in the DC Universe. James Gunn said, "Right now I feel great about where 2 of those characters are, and then we're dealing with the other 2. So he feels great about Superman and Supergirl, and he's dealing with the other 2, Wonder Woman and Batman." Here's where things got kind of controversial online yesterday.
Here's another thing people are saying. Because people are talking about how this movie looks corny. It does. There's certain aspects of it that look corny. They're like, well, and I keep saying them. Well, Superman's corny. No, he's not. Superman can be corny. There were comics where he was corny. Same thing for Wonder Woman, for Batman. They've been corny too. As a matter of fact, almost all the superheroes have been corny. Okay? But it's not what the majority of people want now. They don't want corny. They want good. That's what they want. There can be humor, but corny is bad humor. Understand? Okay.
Yesterday, James Gunn was asked if he was already thinking of a sequel to Superman, and he replied with, "What I'm working on is in some way, I mean, yes, but is it a straight up Superman sequel? I would not say necessarily." So basically what everybody is thinking, since it's been rumored
Another BVS
that James Gunn is working on a World's Finest movie with a Batman and Superman team-up, is that that's what we're getting. A Batman and Superman team-up film. Not necessarily a Batman versus
That's how
Superman
should
Fans
look.
are worried that it might be a repeat of what Snyder did. Instead of giving
going on
Batman
here?
his own movie, they'll jump right
Going
into a
on in this
Batman
picture.
and Superman movie. That is obviously not confirmed yet. We'll have to wait and see, but you can let me know your thoughts on it. And last but not least, James Gunn does confirm that the Batman 2 with Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves is still happening, and it is going to be a really important project, he said. He says, despite contrary reports, it is happening. So that's it for the DC News today.
All right. Thank you very much, Wonder. Appreciate that, sir. If you enjoyed my reaction and thoughts on this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. 10 million subscribers. Woo!